Good evening, and welcome to this week's episode of Varinheim. I'm your Dungeon Master, Trail. Before we get started, I want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor, D&D Beyond, an online digital tool set for DMs and players alike to basically keep track of your characters, the enemies that you create, the items, the skills that your characters have. It's just an overall good online tool set that you can really sink into. So, recommend go check that out. Now, before we get into the recap, I want to bring everybody in. We'll begin this session. Let's begin. All right. So, last session, you guys, if I'm not mistaken, all went to the Graydon jail willingly, minus Cricket, who essentially was brought over there because she had had a run in with a Rhea Ravenwood, who she mistaken for attacking Eisen Newman, the victim in the murder that Cricket somewhat observed. You guys had actually went to the jail to essentially offer your services, which y'all quickly realized that the lawmaster Kilveth didn't care for that all too much. She actually was rather disdainful of the idea of you guys, especially Tanathil, uh, providing any assistance. Saphira, if I'm not mistaken, you were the last one to show up, and you actually showed up after Advisor Mudrik arrived, who was pretty quick to actually asking for y'all's guys' help. He was actually open to the idea. And upon you actually getting to the jail as well, y'all were able to deduce that whatever attacked Isa Newman was not from the material plane. That it was most likely from the possibly from the abyssal plane. You guys also realized that y'all needed to get some books to research on the topic, which y'all were able to get basically a stamp note from Advisor Mudrik of 20 gold, which Tanathil, the next day, you, Saphira, and Garrick went to Derek's components. The grumpy wizard, who, in all honesty, doesn't care too much, even though he's found a fascination with Fida. Go figure. While there, you're able to get a couple of books and wizard components for the 20 gold, I would say, statement that you had. The books that you were able to obtain basically divulged a little bit into some of the creatures of the abyssal plane, one of which that stood out to you was a Babao. That's actually the proper word for it. The Babao is a creature from the abyssal plane that is known for being summoned via to do assassinations that are requested. Someone has to actually bring it forth, usually in the means of offering services to a demon on the other side. You also find out that the Babao actually has some innate abilities of like weakening an opponent. Also able to essentially summon knives via through its life force, its blood, that can actually be shot out for a ranged attack. There are some other things that you actually were to also notice in this case, and forgot to mention in the previous session. It has innate spellcasting abilities of certain spells that you are aware of. These spells are Darkness, Dispel, Fear, Heat Metal, and Levitate. Now, that being said, Ayana, the book that you actually looked through, when it came to the ritual of the Babao, you realized that your trek into the woods was just no ordinary trek or just doing your god's, how should I say, will. Or, well, you were doing its will, but not for no reason. The ritual pentagram that you created most likely summon this Babao to the material plane, though you can quickly deduce that you were not the one to necessarily do it yourself. You were just a tool. As you guys left the tavern, after doing some research, y'all made y'all's way to where Saphira actually fought the Babao in the alleyway. Y'all were able to begin tracking it into the woods. And upon tracking into the woods, y'all realize that the area near this ritual site that is filled with stones that are turned upright, a glowing arcane symbol in the center, has began to decay from dark arcane energy. I don't know if I actually got to tell y'all that last session, just wanted y'all to know. Y'all cautiously moved into the area, making sure that nobody was, I would assume, following you, and you're able to kind of make sure that the Babao didn't sneak up on you. As y'all were inspecting the ritual site, though, Saphira and Ayana, to y'all's right of this ritual location, heard a twig snap in the distance, followed by two, like the previous attack, 3 feet long black shards just shoot through the air directly at Tanithil. And that is where we ended the session last week. So, before we get started, Tanithil, this is a surprise round, so I'm going to roll the 2 attacks. Okay? And we had already rolled initiative before we started, and we'll pick up, all right? Plus, I want to know what's your AC there, Tanithil?
Got no magic yet, so 13.
13. All right. 2 attacks, just right by Saphira. Fieta, you guys watch as these 2 blades just sink directly into Tanithil, dealing, if I'm not mistaken, 17 points of piercing damage.
All right, then.
Just directly into his chest. You just see Tanithil just kind of get rocked back from these 2 hits. And that's where we're going to pick up. I would say that y'all saw where the shots from the Babao came from, off to y'all's right. So, if I'm not mistaken, the first one up is Garrick, who I would say in this instance, there's Saphira, since he is kind of your traveling partner. He didn't see where these shots came from, so he's automatically just going to like start looking along with Sylphir and Night Stalker. So they're pretty much just going to take their turn just kind of like looking. All right. So I'm just going to have them roll a perception. I would say that would actually I would say that you like Garrick actually is able to kind of like quickly scan the area and actually locate where the bow is at. Emerald, your turn.
Well, shit. How does Tanithil look after that?
Not great.
I would say not good at all. You can probably see him like he actually would, I would say, doesn't drop instantly to the ground, but you can see like he just stumbles from that hit after like kind of like taking a couple steps back and then just falling forward, trying to like pick himself up, and you just see blood is coming out from the upper left-hand portion of his chest and the lower right-hand side of his abdomen. Blood's just kind of like starting to like kind of pour out.
How far am I from Tanithil?
I would say you're no more than 20 feet.
I will move 20 feet towards Tanithil.
Okay.
And I'm going to just pump a Cure Wounds into you.
Thank you.
So, Emerald, you pretty much quickly just kind of like leap over some rocks that are not too large as you make your way quickly to the Elvish Wizard who's extremely hurt from these 2 hits. These shards instantly, I would say you kind of like pull out, and as you pull the shards out, you instantly like grab on to to Tanithil to just instantly just start trying to cure his wounds. The wounds themselves instantly start kind of like glowing and connecting one another. You just see tissues just kind of like fusing together as the two spots instantly look as if they've been healing for, I would say, probably about a week or two at this point. How many?
For the record, you gained 12 back.
All
I
right.
was about to ask that. How much does it gain?
Looking
I was about
better
to
now.
ask that. How much did it actually gain? Fida, your go.
How far away am I from Tanithil?
I would say
I
you're.
have one more thing I was going to do
Okay.
there.
Sorry there, Emerald.
No worries. Can't have you falling out in the middle of these woods, and I'm going to pull my shield out and turn towards where the spikes came from, putting myself between Tanithil and him.
Okay.
And can I do this as a thing? And as a bonus action, we are going to... Oh, who do I give this to? Gonna look towards Stalker and just yell, "Fucking hit it!" And you can take a D6 inspiration die.
Thank you. There, you just hear just this dwarf just kind of instantly just bellow from deep in his abdomen, just fucking hit it, as he just turns with his shield in the direction of where the Babao launches attacks from. If I'm not mistaken, is that it for your turn there, Emerald?
That will now do it for magic.
Awesome. Beta, you're up.
First question, can I see the creature?
I would say that you have a good sense of where it's at, and you can kind of make some outlines of it, yes. He is currently slightly obscured because he's actually kind of like up in the tree line area. He's not actually down on the ground per se. I would say he's probably about 20 feet up in the air in a tree.
Okay.
So he's being covered up a little bit by bushes, but you can see his outline.
And how far away from me is he?
I would say he is... For you, he's 65 feet.
Okay, I am going to cast Hex Zone.
What'd you say that you're doing?
I'm going to cast Hex on it.
All right.
I rolled a 5 on the d6. And I am going to... He's going to have disadvantage on anything con related.
He's got a disadvantage on con saves.
Checks.
Yeah,
Okay.
con check.
Con checks. Okay.
Mhm.
Just want to make sure.
How far away am I from Tanithil and Emerald?
You're 15 feet from Tanithil, 25 feet total from Emerald. Because Tanithil's right here, Emerald's right next to him. Between him and the Babao.
Going. Then I'm going to move 10 feet closer to Tanithil.
Okay.
And that's where I'm going to end.
Okay. All right. So basically you just kind of like cast out a hex on the creature. You just instantly just kind of like see like this arcane symbol just kind of like form on his chest and then dissipate. As you then move towards closer to Tenethil. Creature is going to automatically just, upon seeing you guys, instantly noticing where he's at, is going to try and like duck into the tree line and try and disappear. All right. I would say that I'm going to go off of y'all's passive perceptions for this one. He basically just like instantly ducks right out of the way of you guys, and just you can kind of hear faint sounds of trees moving before everything just goes silent. And he's gonna move half speed. All right, Cricket's up.
Can she find the creature at all?
What's her passive perception?
Her passive is 14.
14?
Yep.
I would say that she was also one of the ones that like lost sight of the creature as he
Okay.
dipped.
How far
Into
is
the
she from everyone else?
She
From-
is
from
actually
Tanithil.
directly in front of Fida at this point. When Fida moved 10 feet closer to Tanithil, Cricket is actually just in front of her.
Okay.
So-
And how
so
far
Fida-
is she from the tree line that it was originally at? Or did she know where it was originally at?
She originally knew where it was at. Minus Garrick, because Garrick was further back than everybody. He was actually kind of like, his vision was slightly obscured in the peripherals of some tree area line and everything. From this opening, everyone else is kind of like in the area. Cricket, I would say, was roughly 55 feet from, or is 55 feet from the original location of the Babao.
And how far is Saphira from that?
From that location as well.
Mm-hmm. Just so I have a rough
is-
idea.
Saphira is 40 feet.
Okay, so Saphira would be the closest to that line. Cricket's next closest.
Yes.
Okay. She would get closer to the original spot. 25 feet closer.
Okay.
And take the dodge action.
Alright.
Because she cannot see it.
Alrighty. So Cricket just kind of like instantly moves her way up,
Mm-hmm.
parkouring over some of these like rocks that are kind of like all over the place a little bit, and it's like she kind of like flips over a rock, just instantly just gets into defensive stance, just kind of like scanning the horizon, looking for wherever this creature was just at. Is she doing anything else this turn?
No.
Okay. Saphira, you're up.
Saphira's going to draw her bow and ready an arrow while moving up 30 feet towards the... does she notice where it is now from a 15?
With a passive perception of 15,
Yeah.
I would say no.
Okay. Then she's going to move the same direction to where it was before. 30 feet forward. And she will rage and hold her action to fire at the creature if she sees it.
Okay. So basically, you just kind of like do a kind of a brief look to try and see wherever this creature was at, as you pull out your bow and just kind of like instantly like move up to where it was at. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And just as like you are moving in this area, you just an unbridled rage just comes over you, and you just like, if anybody was actually like able to like look into your eyes and just kind of like a flicker of flame in a sense, just kind of like goes in the back.
Yeah, they are visibly more vivid.
Yeah. Is that it for your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Tanithil, here you go.
Alright, I'm going to put a mage armor on myself and hide behind Emerald, drop to prone in that position, let him actually protect me there.
All right, so you want to get like right, just kind of move around Emerald and kind of like try and put yourself out of harm's way from where the creature previously was.
Yeah, he already interposed himself between me and the creature, so I will just drop to prone where I'm at. Shouldn't have to move
Alright.
anywhere.
The only way to hide behind Emerald.
Well, yes.
The elf has to hide behind a dwarf. It's unexpected.
I got shot twice already.
Hey! All right.
Act out of range, be low profile.
Mhm.
Eric, if I'm not mistaken, is that it for your turn, that Tanithil, or you got something up your sleeve?
That is it.
Alrighty.
Spell and move.
So Garrick, like as soon as like he just sees y'all like kind of like start fanning in a particular direction, y'all just hear like a whistle, and I didn't want to whistle in the back.
Understand.
Just a whistle come from him, and y'all just hear a brief just of leaves and everything. Hearing Night Stalker and Sealfear kind of start getting into positions before they start stealthing themselves to begin looking for this creature. And okay then. All right. Y'all instantly, as y'all are kind of like looking throughout the battlefield, y'all hear immediately after just a few minutes, Sealfear just start just barking in a particular direction. And y'all notice that I would say that y'all instantly like can turn in the proper direction and see Sealfear is like at a tree currently, like looking directly up at this Babao who's currently in the tree line, who is getting ready to do another strike.
Saphira can see him now.
Yeah, y'all. I would say that everyone, like, if y'all instantly hear where Sealfear is barking, and is able to just instantly like look and can see the outline of the Babao kind of being slightly obscured by some tree leaves and limbs, but not completely.
Then she will loose that arrow that she was holding.
Okay, you didn't realize that you held action, but that works.
Yeah, she was holding an attack with the arrow if she was able to see it.
Okay, so Night Stalker, just wanted to go ahead and say, like went off in a different direction. Sealfear was going another, as if kind of like trying to do a pincer movement. Garrick and you are both going to fire. What do you roll?
18.
That
Nope,
hits.
17.
That still hits.
Okay.
Arrow just flies through the air, just automatically tagging the creature in the upper left-hand shoulder. You got kind of like went right by its chest as it hit, and it just kind of like arched this way as Garrick's arrow flies through the air as well. And Garrick's arrow just whizzes right past him.
9 damage.
9 damage. Like you see the arrow just sink in as it does. From a distance, it looks as if the shot doesn't actually penetrate all the way into the creature's skin. It just kind of like barely sinks in. Emerald, your turn.
From where it's now been pointed out, how far is that from us?
From you, that is... You're 30 feet from the tree. He's about 20 feet up. So you're 30 feet from the actual tree that he's in, and the creature's about 20 feet up in the air.
Not a ton I can do here. So instead, I'm gonna need a wisdom save from the creature. I'm going to cast Toll of the Dead.
What's spell save DC?
14.
You got it.
It saved or did not save?
It did not save. You got it.
Okay, D12, because it is now missing hit points.
Okay.
For a whopping 4 damage.
Alrighty.
Amazing.
Is it just a kind of like a psychic damage, or just he just loses life? Out of
That is
curiosity?
necrotic damage.
All right. So like you just kind of like look at him and just kind of like melt, like just instantly just takes like necrotic damage.
The
essentially.
sound of a glorious bell fills the air around it for a moment.
So you'll just hear like this dong noise just kind of like echo through the battlefield as the Babao just like instantly like part of its like metallic kind of like structure just turns like slightly to a greenish black color that you can kind of barely see visible, and it just takes 4 damage, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
And I will reposition, putting the wizard behind me.
All right. Vita, your turn.
I can see the creature in the tree.
Yes.
I'm going to Elf Blast it.
All right. I would say he's slightly obscure, so I do believe that adds a +2 to his AC. If I'm
That's
not
a
mistaken.
16 plus 7 for 23.
That won't save him any at all. All right, go ahead. Roll damage.
13 damage.
All right, so you just
5 of it from, or 10 of it from the Eldritch Blast, 3 of it from the Hex. So 3 is necrotic.
if I'm not mistaken, Elder Splash is just blast of arcane energy, correct? It's not like a flame,
Force damage.
or is it an actual force damage?
Mhm.
Okay, just kind of like bring up your hand, and you just see the creatures get pelted directly in the chest with this, and you said 13 damage.
13 total.
Alrighty. Okay. Creature's turn. Like, these 2 hits, it just did not expect. Either from the one from Saphira, the one from Emerald, and the one from Euphita. And it's kind of like looking around trying to see exactly where to kind of like go next. And you just see him just kind of looking, and you just kind of automatically just sling 2 attacks towards Saphira, who's off to his right. What's your AC there, Saphira?
Yeah, 16.
16. All right, so one of those just hits you directly in the chest. They'd say Delta critical. So D8. Just 20 piercing damage just directly into your chest. You're raging, so that's half, if I'm not mistaken. So 10. Y'all just see these 2 directly at Saphira as like one just lands in his chest, like I was saying. The other one flies off, just completely off target, as the other one just kind of like lodges in, bullet just as take 10 piercing, and it is automatically going to start moving. It's going to head back up here. It's actually going to make its way up towards Saphira, leaping from tree to tree, just holding on. Cricket's turn.
It's still up the trees.
Yeah, and it was not being stealthy about this move at all. Y'all actually able to track it with ease. But he's still slightly obscured.
How far up the trees is it?
I would say at this point he actually lost a little bit of height, so he's about 15.
And how far is she from the tree?
You are Cricket or Saphira?
Cricket.
Cricket is 35 feet from the tree. Just for future reference, Saphira is 20.
She will use a key point to use Step of the Wind to dash to the tree and climb up it. Well, she will run up it as far as she can and use her talons to climb the rest of the way and try to kick it out of the tree.
Okay. I'm going to want a acrobatics.
Okay. That is... Well,
oh. You just see Cricket just bolt across this ritual field, kind of like jumping from rock to rock before like leaping herself up and grabbing on to the tree and just instantly like pulling herself and flipping over and landing on the tree branch where the Babao was at. And you say she's going to kick her, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, she's going to kick out at it, try to knock it out of the tree with a shove attack.
As she kind of like pulls herself up and flips to go to land, her legs just try to like hit the Babao off of the out of the tree. I'm gonna want her to roll a. I want to actually give her a little bit of advantage in this athletics, not strength.
You don't want me to do a shove attack?
I mean that works. You want to do that? That works.
Either one.
Also
Yeah.
athletics.
Plus 7, so 16.
16. That hits. So like as she like hits the Babao like tries to like reach and grab for the tree limb that it's like was standing on, just completely misses its reach as it just just hits the ground, taking 1 bludgeoning damage from the fall that it hits, and you just hear a thud at the base of the tree.
If she has enough movement left, she'll climb back down. 35. No, I don't think she has enough to get back down.
I would say no. I mean, you can say she just drops down. Like, that's no problem with me. I don't mind if someone just is like, I'm just gonna. Like,
yeah, if she can just hop down without hurting herself, yeah.
Yeah. That works. Saphira's turn, if I'm not mistaken.
And it's 20 feet away from Saphira, you said?
Yeah.
She's going to rush over and shouldering the bow and bringing out the great axe. She will flank it with Cricket if she can. And go ahead.
I would say that you're probably not going to get flanking this round. With
That's fine.
Like, as Cricket's like coming down, like the creature's not really paying too much attention to her. Like the creature's just kind of like standing back up.
Okay. But she will rush towards it and yell at it. We never got to finish our fight last night. And swing the axe at its chest.
All right. Technically, it's prone still, because it's just trying to get up. So your attack's gonna be rolled with advantage.
Okay. 15.
It's not hit. Like as you just like go to try and hit it.
Inspiration.
If
Can I
that
use
thunder and
inspiration?
lightning is coming through, I apologize. Apparently,
It's
we
not.
have quite a thunderstorm going on.
That's
It's
fine.
not also,
And yes, you can use them on attack rolls.
but can I use them after I know the result of the attack?
That's my call on that one. It was a
You
little
can
quick.
add it to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. This can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome.
So I
Oh.
cannot use it. Because I already know the outcome.
Yeah,
I thought
That was
about it
low.
right afterward.
that was my bad. I was a little quick on.
No, it's...
Letting
I
you know.
should have thought to do it immediately, and...
Now we know going forward.
Yep.
So as like you just kind of like go to lunge down on it, it just rolls out of the way and is automatically like getting ready to get back up. Is that it for your turn there, Saphira?
Yes.
Okay. Stenethil, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna peek out from behind Emerald and shoot magic missile at it. Which will
Alright.
just be a total of 9 force damage.
I'll just
Blast it.
yeah, just blue missiles just directly at it and just pelt it left and right. You said 9 damage?
Yep. I will just stay prone on the ground behind... Well, no, I'm gonna stand up now because it's down on the ground.
Alright.
So I will stand up and stay behind Emerald.
Okay. It is Garrick's turn. He's automatically just go like let a shot off of this bow trying to like hit this creature. I don't believe that actually hits. Oh, it does actually.
Oh.
Okay. Y'all just see an arrow just right through the air as it lands directly into the side of the Babao as it's like... Scratch that. Never mind. I forgot that the creature was still prone. I had to roll a disadvantage. Attack still hits. As it just launches like directly into the side. Dealing only 4 piercing damage. And Sylphir and Night Stalker are going to make their way towards the Babao. And if I'm not mistaken, Emerald, your turn.
Okay. Well,
I would say that you do see the creature. It is currently, Cricket is landing on the ground, getting up herself to basically put this creature in a flanking move. Saphira's on the other end, trying to hit it with a great axe, but it's moving all over the place. You just saw a shot land directly into its shoulder. It didn't pierce too far into the skin. And Tanthil behind you, I would say, I would say you did hear him cast Magic Missile, if I'm not mistaken.
if I didn't hear it, I certainly saw it.
Yeah, certainly saw it.
Missile swarm. I am going to hold my action with a guiding bolt for when it stands up.
Alrighty.
And that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. Vita, your turn.
Creature is within 60 feet of me.
Let's see. No. He is currently, I would say, 70 feet total.
Okay, I'm going to move forward 15 feet so that I'm within 60 feet.
Alright.
And I am going to cast Mind Slipper.
So you need to make a save?
You drive a disorienting spike of psychic energy into the mind of one creature you can see within range. Must make an intelligence saving throw. Or take 1d6 psychic damage and subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes before ending its turn.
What's the save DC?
Save is 15 int.
You got it.
Okay, so it's 3 damage from that and 1 necrotic damage. And
Alright.
for d4 on its next save, it takes a penalty of 3.
I think he rolls that.
Oh, does he roll that?
Mhm.
Cool. He's gonna have to roll
It works kind of like Bane.
Okay. So like you just basically just like kind of like do this mind psych on this creature, just like instantly it's like it's trying to like get up, it's like kind of like grabbing at its head. As you just kind of like see it like just kind of like I would just say shake for a brief moment from the intensity. It is the creature's turn. It is actually going to try and move away from Saphira and Cricket.
Does it stand?
It's going to have to. So it's going to lose half its movement.
And it's going to get an attack from me
Go for it.
the moment it stands.
Go for it.
So just a level 1 guiding bolt. Does a 17 hit?
That does hit.
Okay, 4d6 radiant damage.
D6 radiant. That's nice.
12. So 20 damage. And that is
Dang.
radiant. And the next attack roll made against the creature has advantage because it is now rimmed in light.
Which is great because Cricket's first roll was a 1 and her second was a 19.
Hey,
So she's gonna swing her quarterstaff at it with a 26.
Okay, because it's going to try and pull away from both of you, so you're both going to get an attack of opportunity on it. He's going to do a double movement, so he's booking it away from you guys. But you said she rolled a 19?
26 total. 19 was the die, plus 7.
That hits. What about Saphira?
I haven't rolled hers yet, but I can.
Don't forget you have the thing.
That thing isn't gonna matter when I roll a 3.
Then I can't help you, friend.
Nope.
Roll damage for
Maybe
Cricket.
A D8 or 11 damage.
11 damage. As like it's like instantly like kind of like trying to like pull away. You go to swing and it just ducks, but as it ducks, like Cricket just whack, just right across its face. It moves just barely, dealing you said 11 damage,
Bludgeoning.
correct?
Yes.
Bludgeoning.
Hmm.
All right, it takes 6.
How did it like
And
the
it-
radiant damage?
Huh?
How did it like the radiant damage?
As like the radiant damage that you just bolt towards it, it just covers it, just like arcane blinding yellow light just comes like out of its the skeletal parts of its like structure,
Mhm.
and it just shines and you just see it withers in pain from it,
Okay.
and it's going to instantly bolt away from you guys. It gets some distance, I would say. I actually can't actually show y'all on this map how far away it gets.
I can't
But
see
it gets-
anything on this
Yeah, we
I
don't have a map.
map.
That explains why no one's been moving their tokens. Why didn't no one say anything?
Because we
I'm
thought you
looking
were
at
theatering the mind.
Yeah.
Because we roleplayed it instead.
Oh,
Y'all did great. I didn't know.
We
My bad.
have-
I apologize.
we have the full-on circle.
This is where you guys were. It is booking it towards the south, going right past Sylphir. Sylphir is also going to get an attack of opportunity. That hits. Rip him to the ground. And it is booking it. It gets about 65, about 60 to 65 feet from you guys. It is falling down, trying to get away from you guys. Cricket's turn.
He has 40 feet. She will use. I can't move her, FYI. She will use Step of the Wind to catch up to it. That puts her at 80 movement speed.
You can move her token now.
And swing her staff at it again.
Go for it.
Nope, that's not gonna hit. I'm rolling great today. That's a 10.
That's not gonna hit. Like as she like comes over with the staff to like try and hit it. Like I would say like I would naturally assume to like hit its legs to quit it to get him to quit from running away. Like it just instantly just jumps over it and just blades just right out, just looking dead at her. Is it your turn there, Saphira?
Yes. That one. She will chase it and fire another arrow from her bow.
Okay. So you're just kind of like barreling through the woods, just pulling out the bow and just getting shot off, I do believe. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's
Roll.
an 18.
Just right in the back of the Babao. Roll damage.
6.
It just, that shot just lands directly in its back, just barely piercing into the skin. It just, as it just like instantly like turns to look at you. All right, Tanithil, I do believe you're up.
Alright, well, I don't care to roll to hit. Let's do some more magic missiles. 11 force damage this time.
Like just missiles just directly at it, just pelting it directly in its side as it just starts writhing in pain. It just turns towards you and just, as it just kind of bellows out this roar towards your direction. Alrighty. Garrick's turn. Or are you moving? Actually, there, Tanithil?
No, I'm good where I'm at.
Alright, cool. Garrick is just automatically going to turn, just let an arrow fly through the air to try and hit this creature. Gonna use roll 20 this time. Just
That's
arrow
Once,
just,
huh?
and just as like he like kind of like turned to like hit, like he just kind of like dropped a little and just right into the ground, just dug straight in.
He's had such
Emerald,
bad
you're
luck.
up.
1 second. I'm just checking the wording on this real quick.
Okay.
It might work. Sure.
disadvantage on attacks with it? Is it still rimmed in light?
It was
Only
rimmed in
for
light
one.
until Cricket hit it when it
Okay.
ran.
Okay,
It only
It's
lasts
the
for one attack.
next
one
attack.
attack.
We're going to need a wisdom save from the creature.
If I'm not mistaken, he's got disadvantage, correct, from the hex?
That is on wisdom checks.
That's
Or
on
that was
It's on
constitution.
con
con. Those con saves.
Yep, this
He-
is just a straight
Checks,
check.
not
He
saves.
does have a
checks.
disadvantage from when I did cast Mind Sliver of a D4 on the next save.
So
On the next
it would,
save.
it would have a minus d4 to that roll. It has to beat a 13 for hideous laughter.
He actually got it.
He saved.
He saved.
Okay.
Like as like you just kind of like
sense of
try to
humor.
like cast the spell to like kind of like say an insult, your words just kind of like jumble together. He just kind of like looks at you.
Well, it is
You
what
move?
it is. That'll be my go.
All right,
No,
right there, Emerald.
don't be sorry.
Vita, your go.
I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast at it again.
Go for it.
A 18 plus 7 to hit
That hits.
for 25.
You're just as like this force damage just like hits it directly in the chest and it just knocks it back kind of like for a second as it like stumbles and like comes back forward.
12
much
force
damage you do?
damage, 1 necrotic damage.
How much force? Sorry.
12 force, 1 necrotic.
All right.
And then I would like to move myself, but I'm not able on the screen.
You should be able to.
It's not.
Oh. It's not letting you. I'll fix that. There you go. I know why. Sorry.
I am moving myself right in the way of both of them.
All right.
And that's my turn.
As like you just kind of like let this force damage out the Babao. At this point, it's just beaten. It's like metallic structure is cracking and starting to like just seeing blood just kind of like ooze out from the like crevices of it and everything. It's barely standing. It's just kind of like looking between like Cricket and everyone. And it's going to try and, at this point, just bolt even further south. Cricket needs to roll attack of opportunity.
That's
Letting you
another
know.
10.
Another 10. As like he kind of like pulls away, just able to barely clear over it. As he just continues on moving. Since he didn't need to actually stand up, he gets even further than the last go. I would say at this point he's about 75 feet from Cricket to the direction that you guys just came from. Cricket's turn.
She will use her action to dash and set up a key point and keep up with it.
Okay, so she's gonna basically get like right behind it.
Yes.
All right, so she's right up behind it. Saphira's turn.
Yes, Saphira is going to follow another 30 foot and try firing another arrow at it.
All right, so you're just kind of like barreling through the woods, trying to keep up with this creature, and just another knock of an arrow.
She's yelling at it, "Quit hitting me and running away, you fuck!" I think I need to roll another dice tonight, because that's the one.
Yeah, as like you just fire, it like basically moves past, like it's basically past the arrow. The arrow goes between it and Cricket. Cricket actually kind of like raises up for a second and just turns and looks in your direction. just startlement that this arrow just basically whizzed right past her in front of her. Is that it for your turn?
Yes.
Hanathil, your go.
So if it moved 75 feet from where it's at on the map, then I'm going to move just a little bit closer to it and shoot another magic missile because I got 120-foot range on that. And
Well,
let's
you
do
just
that on a
basically
level
just kind
2.
of like, you're just kind of like, all right, and just more magic missiles fly out, just pelting this creature in the back. It's just trying to run.
14 more force damage.
14 total?
Yep. Level 2 cast.
Dang. All right. It's just limping along at this point. Garrick's turn. He is going to try and knock another arrow. Sadly, that does not hit. It just right by Cricket, just to the right of her shoulders, and she's just barreling towards this thing. Emerald, your go.
I am going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to here. I also have a 120-foot cast, and we will do another guiding bolt. This one will be a level 2.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, does that
That's just a roll.
that's just a roll?
Yep.
Okay.
Does a 25 hit?
That does.
I need 5 more d6s. 5 of them? 5 of them. It would help if that went onto the rolling tray. Come back here, d6.
How do you want to finish them there, Otter?
Hold on.
Unless you roll 4 ones, there's no way he's living.
You never know.
That's 16.
Eric already did 2 runs.
Yeah,
two
no.
runs.
Hey, how do you want to? How do you want to finish them there, Otter?
I shout from behind, "No, you don't," and shoot the guiding bolt at it, and I just would like it to burn in the radiant damage.
As like you just like let this guiding bolt fly through the air, just arcane energy just sparking off. It lands directly into the dead center back of the Babao, as like the arcane energy just start like lightning just coming through its body as it just starts, and it just like in mid run just stops, drops to its knees as it just rumbles to the ground, lifeless. Cricket just kind of standing, watching as this creature just crumbled to the ground. Garrick is notching his bow to instantly run towards it. Sylphir and Night Stalker going to kind of quickly take up post. Letting you guys know you're not under the restraints of initiative.
Yeah, Saphir is rushing towards it.
Yes. All right. As you get up there, you instantly notice like its metallic structure is pretty heavily damaged from the arcane energy. It just of the radiant damage that it just took from Emerald's attack.
Did it crumble into pieces, or is it essentially beat to hell?
It's just beat to hell. I apologize if my descriptions confused you.
You're fine. When Saphira gets there, she's going to start hacking at the neck until the head is off. Just in case.
Okay. Y'all just see Saphira just wailing on this neck, just breaking it. It's like and like as it finally breaks, it just rolls away from the impact. I'm pretty sure you just go and pick it up.
Ah, that's better.
Oh,
And then she's gonna start punting the head around.
That is so violent.
No less than it has been to me in the last 24 hours.
All right then.
I'm gonna turn to Tanithil. Are you okay?
Much better after your healing, thank you. I'm doing all right now.
If we're to be working together, I can't have you dying on us now, can we?
Yes, I appreciate it.
And 2, do you know what we can do with that? And I'll point behind me to the arcane sigil in the ground.
Well, I'm not exactly capable of dispelling it. Fida, this is the book you went through. Do you know how we can get rid of the sigil?
Did not see anything on how to get rid of it. I wonder if we can destroy it in any ways. It needs to be stopped.
What is the sigil actually made out of? Is it just glowing on the ground, or is it drawn, or what?
So how the sigil is made, the rocks that are kind of like basically focus points are essentially connecting to one another. The beams of arcane energy are basically kind of like coming from the actual abyssal plane. On the ground, you can see carvings that someone had done in the ground to essentially kind of like form a connection between these as well, with the incantation just kind of like written in a circle around it. When it comes to dispelling a ritual circle, I would like Tanithil, I want you to roll a Arcana check.
21.
That works. You know that when it comes to like sometimes of these ritual locations, if you actually know the proper ritual, there's usually a other ritual that you can do that takes some time. It usually takes about an hour to get it to actually stop. But you just have to basically, if you know the proper ritual that is causing this or created this, there's usually an incantation that basically ends it. So you don't need to use like a dispel magic of any sort, as long as you've got the time to do so.
All right. Did we find the actual Babao summoning ritual in Fida's book?
Yes, you did.
All right. Can we use that and find our counter ritual?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right then.
So if you just
Do we need any sort of supplies, or can we just do it?
if I'm not mistaken, in this instance, it's more just the person has to act as a conduit to basically just kind of like draw the arcane energy away from this particular ritual site location. In this instance, it's not the ritual location is not a heavy burden on a person. Other ritual sites would take materials of sort. This one, not in this case. It's just you just basically need to just kind of like disrupt the focus points, essentially.
Shall we break a circle?
Let us do this. Allow me to be the one to actually break this. You should not take any more damage from any of this. You have taken enough.
Seemed like it had a solid chance of exploding, but
It would
I'd like
be
this
better
to go away.
It would be better if I take any damage that may come from this. No one else should suffer from this.
If
That is nicely selfless. Thank you.
this thing's going to explode, maybe I should do it.
No. You have taken enough damage as well.
I'm fairly resilient. Are you sure?
Irrelevant. My mind is made on this. You keep
All
watch
right.
and make sure nothing interrupts.
She has a 78% chance of survival.
Well,
Plenty.
If our new friend over here has anything to say about it, I think she has a better chance than that.
Oh yes, there is always healing. Take it away, I suppose. I'm going to hide behind that rock over there in case it does actually explode.
I take it you're gonna begin the incantation and the ritual to break apart
I am
this.
absolutely going to go and break this thing apart. And do
Roll an
everything
Arcana check.
hurt. 10 plus 1 for 11.
Take 2d10. I'm gonna roll
I knew it would
2d10.
explode.
I will actually roll for you. I'm sorry.
And what kind of damage?
Necrotic in this case. Like as like you're kind of like doing the incantation, your hands are up. Y'all see the arcane connections just start kind of like cracking. You just hear as the rocks begin kind of like shifting and digging themselves into the ground. You see Fida just focusing on this location. And as you begin the final part of the incantation, Fida, you hear in the back of your mind, "You insolent worm, you shall pay the ultimate price." And as this voice says this, you just hear, you just see this, these connections pulse for a brief moment as a necrotic green arcane energy just blasts and just hitting Fida directly. But as it does, this black and white light just sucks from her back as like her arms just basically just kind of like flail back, pulled, and you just kind of see her fighting this for a brief moment before it just vanishes and she just collapses.
Saphira will immediately rush over to help her up.
The sigil ritual location is gone. Fida is still breathing. Fida, you do take 6 necrotic damage. Just letting you know.
All right. Well done. Can we leave now?
Yes, we should.
Well, before we go, she's gonna go over and pick up the head. We should bring this with us, now that I've had my turn to finish.
All right. Tanith will look a little queasy about it.
Do you have like a bag or something you can put in? I've seen enough of it for one day.
Well,
For one
not really,
lifetime,
no.
even.
I'd rather not put it in the sack and get that messy.
It's not a far walk.
I'm going to pull out like just a small piece of like a piece of clothing or something, like a shirt or something, just like kind of wrap it around it so that we're not walking through town with this exposed demon head.
Exposed demon head just kind of like following along.
Yeah, it's more than just us that have to see this.
Right?
Well,
It's not for you, it's for the townspeople. I don't think they're ready for that.
I guess I can... This equipment's gonna be a pain to carry without this sack. Alright. She'll unfold the sack of gear. And Tanithil, what you see that you noticed before is an entire set of black plate armor, a longsword, and a shield,
Hmm.
giving off a red glow.
Ah, there's our magical aura.
The plate armor looks a bit mangled in places, especially one of the knees.
All right. Yes, good luck carrying that without the sack.
Extend my
Yeah.
offer to wrap the head in like a shirt.
Do you have an extra?
Yes. I do.
Actually,
I don't need it back. I'm sure I can find one in town.
now that you mention that, she's gonna dig through her bag and pull out a shirt. I have a spare, and I forgot about it.
All right.
And she's gonna wrap the sack back up and wrap the head up.
Well, alrighty then.
I actually forgot in person that she had that.
I take it with that you guys are heading into the town?
Yes, let's go show off Stalker's
Show
trophy
off.
to the Lawmaster.
On the way back, Theta,
Yes, Emerald. I have a question for you. Once you have said what you would like to.
as I have for you. Not that I'm complaining, but why so adamant you had to be the one to close that circle? That seemed weird. Weirdly worded, I guess would be a good way to say it.
You're observant.
I'm used to people watching.
Understood. I will answer with a question. Where can I find Miss Newman?
Aren't they on a
Nice.
table
I
dead
must-
inside the jail?
I'm sorry, Rhea Ravenwood. Sorry.
I was about to have a whole lot more questions.
My brain processed it with the person she meant, not the person she
Right?
said.
I'm going to assume either close to the body or in mourning, taking care of what she needs to. Why?
Because I realize what has happened here. Did you see what happened to me when I broke that circle?
You fell over? Looked like it hurt a bit.
Did they see the black and white light coming out off of me?
I would say so.
How can I put this directly in a way that everyone will understand? I drew that circle.
Why?
The last site I went to with my family, we encountered something terrible. I know what it is now that I was forced to do, and I see what it is that I was being used to do. The last temple we went to was a temple of Shiva the Destroyer. Shiva is a goddess of destruction. Good luck finding any information on her. She is not known for having a lot written about her because she destroys. There's no records because everything is destroyed. In that temple, My family was nearly killed by some individuals there, and instead of letting them die in front of me, Shiva spoke to me and asked me to pick up a shiny rock, and that rock ended up, we'll say, giving me power to save my family. My family has been taken hostage since then by Shiva, and I was sent here to draw a circle on the ground under the hopes that I would get more information as to where my family is. Tanathil, if you remember on the boat, I was asking about how to find people on this plane. I've been trying to find my 2 brothers and my father.
I suppose that would do it. No egg for you. I'm going to start eating one of my hard-boiled eggs.
Understood, but I
You-
could not let anyone else take any damage from this. When I broke that circle, Shiva ripped her power away from me. That is the damage I took. Shiva is now punishing me for not following along with her plans. But I could not let any of you take any more damage from this. Not when I know that I am a direct part, that I've had a direct hand in it, regardless of it being unwillingly.
What about your family?
I don't know what's going to happen to them now, but I can't let the rest of everyone here suffer and die because of me. We already have Ria's friend there, her comrade, is dead. And I am partially to blame. No one else needs to suffer from this. They would understand.
I'm going to grab you by the wrist and pull you down so your head is closer to mine.
Where is she? I must speak with her. I need to apologize to her.
I empathize with doing what you can to save your family. I don't fault you for that. But you need to come clear with Rhea. That woman deserves to know why what happened did.
I agree with you completely. And it will be so. I need to know where she is.
Sure she won't be too hard to find in the town.
Might I ask you to come with me? Not as support or anything, as you have spoken with her before. You do not need to be present for the conversation, but for an introduction, please.
And 2, if we are going to be traveling together, please do not leave this out of what you tell us you're doing. I'd rather we know if we're going to be walking into a situation like this.
Until I arrived at that site, I did not know that it was. I recognized the symbol in the book, but I did not know if it was directly tied to me. When I got off the boat, I went to the tavern with Tanathil, and then I went for a walk later.
Oh.
Did we lose someone?
Yep. Lost her audio.
We lost audio for you, Ayana. You're back now, but your Discord dropped out and then came back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no good. What did you hear until?
Just that last statement we missed.
I can tell you this site here was living and verdant and green as of yesterday. When I left here, I had drawn the symbol on the ground, but I had not done anything with it. What this book has said is that they needed someone with a tie to the abyssal plane to draw the symbol, but the second part was able to be done by anyone. So in that, Shiva has had me being a tool and at her disposal.
Trill, are there any ambient sounds of animals around us at all? That Saphira
I'd say
can
so.
hear?
Yeah. Like occasional I would say bird chirping or possibly the movement of a squirrel up in the tree branches or leaves. What's up?
And we're still in the deadened area?
I would say that y'all moved away from that and started making y'all's way actually towards the
Okay.
yeah, towards town.
Okay. That's all.
Well, you kind of got me stabbed, and I don't appreciate that.
I can understand. I hope you can understand why I could not let you break that circle, though.
Well, yes, I like not exploding as well.
It's overrated, I can tell you that for certain now.
We'll be okay, but I am permanently revoking your egg rights.
I just have to find my own.
Good luck.
I'm now just picturing Tanithil has a page in his book that is egg rights, no
And a
egg
list of
rights,
names.
and just names.
Right. I take it that you guys are with this moving towards the town, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Are y'all heading to try and find Rhea Ravenwood?
I am first going to stop at the tavern and wash up because I feel incredibly dirty after all of this.
All right. With that, we're going to take a 10-minute break and then we'll get back to some more Varinheim. See you guys in a bit. And welcome back. All right, so you guys, if I'm not mistaken, headed to the town of Kraden after dealing with the Babao near the ritual location that y'all just found out that Fida had made.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, she's on the no egg list
For life.
for life.
I will earn my way back onto the other side of this.
I want to
We'll
say,
see.
as
Like
you guys are
goals.
heading back, by the way, to the town, Garrick is going to whisper to you there, Saphira. He does not trust Fida.
Her
Just gonna go.
response is no one is really trustworthy. But if she was really doing it for her family, I could understand that.
I question the lengths of which she'll go for her family. Will she make questionable decisions from
I
here
do
on
more
out?
for mine.
But would you cause the death of an innocent?
Who is really innocent?
Good question. He just kind of bows his head and just kind of keeps moving along. Silphir and Nightstalker have run forward to just kind of scout the path back to the town. As y'all get back, I would say it's no, it would actually be about mid-afternoon. As you guys are getting to the town, it's pretty busy about. People are pulling wagons and carts to shops. You see the occasional street urchin just kind of trying to pass along a deal to someone to buy something, a dagger or a compass. Y'all make y'all's way through the district and on y'all's way down to the docks where y'all have been staying at the grotto. Upon getting there, you see quite a few companions, I would say, that are just kind of chilling, getting ready for the evening. I would say festivities to a certain extent. Durvath is busy dealing with all these customers that are drinking or eating, depending on who it is. As you guys kind of get in there, Garrick just automatically like throws his bow and sword just kind of like out and makes his way to where he had been staying. He's like, I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather get some rest. And he just kind of makes his way to his room. As he gets in, he's going to put his stuff off to the corner. Silphir and Nightstalker, as they come in, Durvath instantly just goes to like kind of like say something about the two wolves, realizing who it is, just kind of lets them pass.
Does Garrick look tired?
He looks a little tired. He's been yawning on the way back from the trip.
Okay.
But you can tell he's also something's been kind of like going
On
in
his
his mind, thinking. I would say Cricket has been, I would say like probably trying to like talk to Ayana on the way back. Not much. Just kind of asking you questions on who is Shiva? How long have you been attached to her? Have you been able to at least talk to your family at all? Just along those questions.
When Garrick goes to the rooms, does the tavern have like a bathhouse room deal?
Yes, I would
Okay.
say so. Essentially, like how the tavern, like y'all know that the tavern rooms are basically the hallway that's right next to the bar that goes down, and there's rooms kind of like on either side. And then just past that, through a doorway, there's a bathhouse room with about 3 spots so you can basically get a bucket of water dumped on you to
Yeah.
get some of the dirt off.
She's gonna go wash up since she never had a chance in the morning and dress the wound from the extra spikes she got.
As you guys do come in, I do want to say Durvath does look at y'all and it's like, y'all had a doubt earlier. Everything going our way with the investigation.
Better now.
Yes, I was only lightly stabbed.
Lightly.
I'm just
He
like
just
looking down at my holes in my robes. Lightly. It's all right now. I'll start casting mending on those holes.
he's gonna like take the glass that he was like kind of cleaning for a customer and kind of like put it down and look in your direction. That kind of thing. If you don't mind me asking, how did you get those holes?
Demon.
Same
Nothing
one
major.
from the night.
Yes.
It's been dealt with now.
I'm
Which-
pretty sure the... Yes.
Yes, makes me think, Stalker, we ought to turn this evidence in. This is kind of the whole point of our investigation.
Pretty sure the law
I'd like
master
to
would like
clean
to
up
hear.
first.
Yes,
Durvath is-
specifically to the Lawmaster. But I suppose clean yourself up?
And
I'm
she'll
just gonna
go-
sit at a table and wait for them to finish cleaning up.
When she does come back out, her axe is no longer an axe. Or rather, she doesn't have an axe anymore. She has a maul that you did not see before. However, I will state the axe did not look like a standard steel or anything. It was a combination of golden, black, and bone colors with some inscriptions on it. And the maul that she has now in hand is the same color scheme, same materials.
Alright. You have thematic weapons.
As Saphira's going to go and shower up, Durvath asks, does anybody want anything to eat or drink? After apparently y'all's excursion.
I'm running low on eggs. Could you boil a couple?
Yes. And he just kind of
Thank you.
calls to one of the waitress barmaids and asks us to go get a couple of boiled eggs.
I'm gonna use my hat to cast Prestidigitation. I have to get a DC 10 Arcana check. Wait, what? Just one. Okay. It's gonna roll a die for me. I've succeeded. So I can clean my robes and not have bloodstains all over myself.
All right.
Just for the sake of that.
As the fabric just kind of mends together and everything.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
cast Mending myself, but I don't have Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
So, now I look okay, and can enjoy my eggs in comfort. While everybody else cleans up non-magically.
What is
Well-
everyone else up to? Besides Saphira, who's currently taking a shower in the or a bath in the bathhouse. Garrick is going to sleep for probably about an hour before he gets up to kind of meet up with you guys back outside.
I'm visually waiting for Vita, as an explanation needs to be had that I'm escorting to happen, and we have to turn in our findings for our investigation.
I'm going to go and clean up and going to prestidigitate all of the dirt off of.
Just unoriginal.
So you guys just kind of clean yourselves up.
Some people like to prestidigitate in private versus just in the middle of the bar.
Exactly.
Remind me, did we have the information shared with us on how the ritual works?
I
I'm pretty
did
sure.
share that information with you when I read the book.
That the creature has to be summoned and
That it was a
given
two-part
orders?
ritual. It's a
Okay.
two-part ritual where the one half is the creating of the circle, and then the other half is the something makes some sort of deal and is able to then summon the thing.
While they're in the bathhouse, Saphir's going to ask Fida, you told us that you drew the circle. Did you summon the creature?
No.
Do you
The
know who might
entirety
have?
of my involvement was I needed to draw this circle. And it was shown to me in my head that this was the symbol I had to do at that location. And once I had done that, I was free to go. When I left, it was drawings in the dirt.
I might go back there tonight and speak with the animals in the area and see if we can find out who drew this or summoned it.
That is a good idea. You shouldn't go alone, though.
You're welcome to join me.
I will. I need to know who this was who did this.
Well, let's handle everything we need for now. We'll go back later.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she had to say.
So I take it you guys kind of talk, converse, and then after y'all get done with the bathhouse, just kind of meet back out in the tavern area where everyone else is like eating and drinking.
I'm gonna go and sit with Emerald.
All right.
Shall we?
After a while, I say that Garrick also comes and joins, and he just kind of wanders his way over to Saphira and just kind of goes, so what are we planning this evening to do? Are we going with them to turn in the evidence that we have to the lawmaster, or what?
Well, let's find out what they're doing. They seem to be heading this investigation, so I'd like them to be there when we turn this in, show them that the creature is dealt with.
Anthel sitting with Emerald as well?
Just waiting and twiddling my thumbs until everybody's out, cleaned up, and rested up.
Cricket, Emerald, and everybody is. So you guys are all kind of chilling. Garrick turns to you, this Saphira, and just is like, I'm going to go ask them. He kind of gets up and makes his way over to Emerald, Saphira, and Tanith and Cricket. It's just like, so I have to ask, where we go from here?
Turn in what we know and offer an apology somewhere else.
Yes, we definitely don't need everyone to go along to apologize, but we ought to all make our way to the Lawmaster's office to let them know that this has been dealt with.
I feel like that would probably be a good first step.
And you just kind of see him just make that similar whistle that he does, and Sylphir and Night Stalker kind of like run up to him. He's like, I guess we will have to head up then. And he kind of gets up and puts his make sure his like everything is like kind of like hooked up right, his bow and his short sword that he has. And he kind of begins making his way outside of the tavern. You just see him just kind of like going outside and just kind of like chilling, just waiting on you guys to leave.
Saphir is following right behind him.
Let's go.
Okay. Cricket tags along.
Do the thing.
You guys, huh?
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Do the thing. So anyway, you guys make y'all's way to the Creighton jail where the lawmaster is at. As you guys are entering, you hear Advisor Mudrik and Lawmaster Kilveth talking as you guys are entering. Kilveth is basically you just hear go. As you can see from our evidence or our investigation, the evidence that we're pointing out towards, that both Isa Newman and Rhea Ravenwood did have a more closer relationship than most would agree, which is against the town guard etiquette and how we run things in Creighton. You see kind of like Mudrik just kind of like bobbing his head up and down. You just Kilveth is just talking really fast, and she's like, I expect that her position to be automatically terminated due to this breach of etiquette on how we conduct ourselves in the town's guard. And Mudrik is just kind of shaking his head, like, technically she did break the rules. I agree. With that knowledge, I would have to say we'll have to just let her go from the town's guard, but I'd rather not give her that information today. We'll do it later. She is currently grieving. And even though that she did break etiquette, I'd rather not step on or trample over someone's emotions just yet. And as you guys kind of like enter and hear all this, he just kind of turns and he just goes, speaking of which of other parts of the investigation, how are you all doing this afternoon?
Better now. She holds up the shirt.
Bloody shirt.
Yes, we hunted down and slayed the fiend.
Advisor Mudrik, just kind of like seeing this, just kind of gives a slight chuckle. It's like, well, that's a sure sight. Kilveth actually kind of like goes slightly wide-eyed, like, whoa, hello. Upon seeing this. What'd you say there, Tanathil?
We hunted down and slayed the fiend.
Advisor Mudrik just goes, well, as quite a tell, I bet. I kind of actually want to hear where you actually found this. And Kilveth just kind of speaks up. She's like, yes, I'm somewhat interested on how y'all managed to actually track this thing down and kill it.
Imagine how much faster we could have done so if you weren't worried about tearing apart one of your town's guards.
Or
Rhea
hindering the
Ravenwood.
investigation.
Rhea Ravenwood broke etiquette.
And she has suffered enough for it.
She
Does
has.
she do a good job of defending this place?
Advisor Mudrik just kind of pipes up. Actually, Rhea Ravenwood is actually one of our best town's guard. We actually contemplated on making her a lawmaster eventually.
Then who cares about etiquette?
Or
The importance is
further.
the safety.
Because
why are we not looking into the fact that, by the research we uncovered, somebody summoned this creature specifically to kill Isa? Should that not raise more questions?
that does actually raise quite a few questions. Mudrik says. Out of curiosity, if you don't mind me, do you have the book by chance? I would like to actually look through it myself as well. It's not that I don't trust your word. I do actually just like to see material myself.
Yes, I do. I do have the book. I will hold it up and I will hold it open like this to him on the page and show him and just so that he can read it. But it's staying in my hands.
As like you kind of like hold up the book and everything, he just kind of comes over there and he's like, "Do you mind?" And he just kind of reaches for it gently, like he's not even like
Turn the page.
not trying to snatch, huh?
You can turn the page if you need to. It's several
Like you
pages
just
long.
see him like kind of like studying everything, like carefully, and as like he's kind of like doing this, he's like, Well, yes, you are interpreting this properly. That someone actually would have had to have summoned this creature, which means they made a deal of some sort.
What's more interesting is that afterwards, when we went there, it targeted Tanithil specifically, the head of this investigation.
I don't know if I'd go so far as to say that. It did attack me once, but after that it was...
It didn't have a chance to attack again.
It certainly could have, but it was mostly focused on stealth and evasion. It was not
dying.
single-mindedly attacking me.
I did. So you're telling me that the initial attack bill was on Tanithil?
It was.
It made its presence known by attacking Tanithil.
I'm keeping a very keen eye on Gilbeth at this point.
Roll a perception.
Perception or insight?
Insight, actually. I'd rather have insight.
Okay.
Your DM wants insight.
That's why I double checked. I have far better insight. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Mm-hmm.
You just see Kilveth is just kind of just glaring at Tanithil in his direction. She isn't saying anything. She's not giving off anything. She's just staring directly at him. Just you just see anger just kind of like running through her eyes.
I mean, I took over her office and I got a dead body dropped on her desk, so this seems fair.
Advisor Mudrick just goes, considering the fact that you were a target, Tanithil, I do actually wish to, how should I say, keep you out of public reach, if that is perfectly fine with you.
I suppose I'm just not convinced that somebody would actually want to target me.
Well, if you're a skilled wizard as you say you are, I wouldn't be surprised. In all honesty, when it comes to leading an investigation that can possibly cause problems for somebody, and if this creature is having to be summoned by somebody else, then yes, it's entirely possible you may have been a target. That is just open to an interpretation. Otherwise, the target could have been anybody else, and it could have missed. We don't know that for sure. I am grateful that you have killed the creature. Out of curiosity, this mentions a ritual location. What did y'all do with that?
It's been destroyed.
Well then, Varin be praised. Varin be praised in that. I apologize, I will admit, that we are most likely will be terminating Rhea Ravenwood from the town's guard. That being said, that is from a protocol standpoint.
I mean, it's your safety if you don't want the people that do the job in that job.
It will not be an immediate.
You're only going to suffer losses.
It will not be immediate. I will have her at least train someone that can fill her the void that she will leave behind. I'll do it proper. But I can't show how should I say favoritism or exception to as how things are here. Now, that being said, if this if there is someone Actually, has to be someone from what the book is saying. I want you to look slightly further into this. Are y'all leaving town or going to seeing anybody else today?
Well, we have a bit more to look into. See if we can find out who summoned this creature, why.
Alrighty then. If I'm not mistaken, Emerald, you talked with Rhea Ravenwood before.
I have.
Do you mind going by her place and at least letting her know that the creature is dead?
Sure.
I doubt, in all honesty, that she had hired something to kill her significant other. She never came across as such as that type of person.
I'm responding to them, but still squarely staring at Kilveth.
Okay. So, if you can, just let her know that the creature is dead, and I will personally let her know what will happen to her position in the town's guard later. Okay. But I do wish that you'll keep doing what y'all's doing, investigate further into the matter. Alright.
The room, her office, the maps in it, it was just a local and a regional map, right?
Correct. Yes.
While we're investigating further, would you be able to find me a map of more area than the ones in that office?
Be more than willing to.
Thank you.
Give me a day and I'll have you other copies and maps of closer regions to the north, west, or to the far north.
Thank you. Specifically, if you can find anything that has the Aowen Woods on it, that is what I need.
The what?
The Aowen Woods?
Never heard of it.
Seems to be the same story with everyone.
Sylvan.
All right, I'll make a note of that and talk about it later.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, you do speak Sylvan.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, I remember this.
Yep.
But no, I've never heard of those woods. But I will try and find maps of other regions, and if we find a map with that particular area on it, I will give it to you with ease. No trouble. I do appreciate y'all's help. I will hope y'all don't mind. We will pay you for your services in the end.
Thank you.
I won't complain.
The poor wizard's like, I'm broke. As he says this, he turns to Kilbeth and just goes, with that being said, I am going to go back to my personal chambers and continue doing what I've been doing the last 24 hours. I will get you your maps. I will also beef up security in the area to make sure that this is the only attack that we have to worry about. I won't terminate Rhea Ravenwood from the town's guard yet, but she may be a target, so I'm going to put some soldiers outside her place to watch over her. But at least I can do. And Tanathil, if you end up being a target, you may come and stay at my personal villa with your friends. We will keep an eye on you as well. I hope that you're not a target, though, honestly.
I certainly hope so as well, but I appreciate the offer. Let us hope we do not need to take you up on this.
If he is, it narrows down the suspect significantly.
Well, we're investigating the person that controlled the demon, so it narrows down the suspect to the person we're investigating.
Who would know that you were on this investigation?
fair, I suppose. This has not been a long investigation.
Are y'all talking about this, by the way, in front of them? Just
Mhm.
out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, these are the
Uh,
people running this investigation. This is
Yeah.
useful
Advisor
information.
Mudrick is just going to go ahead and say, in all honesty, there's quite a few that know he's in the investigation at this point.
Paper trail? This is why I code everything in at least 4 different languages.
We have to make things easy for us occasionally. I'm sorry.
Alright, well, if this gets me assassinated, you lose egg privileges too.
No context of what that means.
I don't know what that means. With that, though, I'm allergic to eggs. And he just kind of leaves.
Tanapil's face.
I don't know what to do about this. This life must be so horrible.
You keep your eggs for yourself in this case, no matter what.
They're gifts to share with my dearest friends. Just mostly everybody but Fida right now. Alright then. The two of you were going to speak with Ms. Ravenwood? Let's not overwhelm them.
That we are.
While I do that, Stalker, may I speak with you?
Sure.
Alright. Dealer's choice, Trail. We're splitting up. Which one you want to go to?
Before we split up, after we've stepped out of the building and a short distance away, Saphira's gonna ask Emerald why he is eyeballing the shit out of Kilbeth.
Gilbeth, by the way, is
What
left
his
and went to her
thoughts are.
office.
Should get the dead body out of it?
Yes. As by the way, as like she kind of like goes in, you see a couple of towns guard in there with her.
Just doing paperwork around the body.
Let's move that arm, stamp there.
The body's gone, guys.
Evidence. Can't
I was
tamper
like,
with it.
oh my god. All right. So you're just asking Emerald if he's just like why he's staring down Kilbeth?
After we've left the building.
Oh, y'all leaving?
Something doesn't quite add up with that one.
As the last person leaves, who's the last person to leave? Roll perception. As all right, I was just curious. I just want to say, but yeah,
You see nothing.
As you do go to leave, though, you do hear Kilbeth mention to a town's guard that to notify Advisor Mudrick that she'll be sending a detachment to the woods later this evening to make sure the area was secure as well.
I don't trust that one. So, answering your question, Stalker, their actions have been rather peculiar since we became involved. And they seem rather fixated on Miss Ravenwood.
She behaved strangely yesterday, too.
Did she? I arrived a bit late, so I didn't.
I don't know how she acted in the office. I wasn't there, but I saw the interaction when I arrived.
She was fairly quiet while we were in the office. Not very helpful. Didn't really have any information. At least none she gave.
I also noticed her staring equally as hard back at you, Tanathan. The entire conversation once it came up that we found and killed the creature. It wasn't until that moment that she didn't take her eyes off of you.
I mean, she's been relatively helpful in the investigation, even though she didn't have any information for us.
But why would her face show rage that we found the creature? That's what I don't trust.
Are you sure that's the correct interpretation? We are helping her with her job after all. She should be rather pleased. Maybe there's just a social breakdown.
She was angry with us yesterday, especially you yesterday.
She offered up her office so kindly.
It did not appear that way. She seemed quite vexed with you yesterday, so this doesn't surprise me. I didn't see it this time, but...
Maybe I'm the social breakdown.
She's the social breakdown.
No, I've quite misinterpreted things, at least according to your observations. She seemed so kind and helpful, if ignorant.
Perhaps it would be good for you. Perhaps, Tanathil, it would be good for you to stay near with Cricket and Saphira for them to keep an eye on you. If you are being targeted by that thing, if she has something to do with it,
also
safe.
It seems she's sending a detachment to the woods this evening.
Oh,
is she?
I caught that as I was leaving the building.
Well, some thoroughness with investigating the circle we destroyed seems wise.
Striker, may I speak of what we talked about in the bath?
She didn't ask us where the circle is.
No.
We only told them it's in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Stalker and I had also talked about going back to that area tonight to see if it was possible to find who it was who summoned it.
I'd like to speak with the animals in the area and see if they know anything.
Oh, right. You speak with animals. Okay.
Thinking the same thing.
And it's like you'll say that, like Garrick just goes, it's not that weird. You got one that speaks to demons, the other one likes eggs. It's not that weird.
What do eggs have to do with talking to animals?
Eggs are a perfectly normal food, sir.
He's an elf. We all know what eggs do to elves.
Wait, what do eggs do to elves?
Them?
Have you not heard the stories?
Is that how they stay youthful? A healthy diet of eggs?
Have you not heard the stories?
I feel okay. Should I be worried?
Like
I really like eggs.
Like Garrick is just gonna walk up and just like start like checking Tanathil to make sure everything's fine. He's like, he's okay for now. He just kind of like goes back and he's like, but yes, it's okay if Saphira talks to animals.
Tell me what eggs do to elves!
Is Garrick being serious right now?
That
Is he
is the serious question, too.
Is he pulling a leg?
I'm not even gonna roll, I'm freaked out.
Saphira is suspicious. That's a... Where the hell's my insight? Oh, 15.
With a plus 6, that is a 7.
Oh no.
That is a 7?
I am curious where this goes to.
I also am. Is that insight?
Mm-hmm.
Saphira, you notice, like, as he's, like, walking back towards you, just kind of does a
That is an 8 total.
just smirk. Just small smirk.
She gives a small grin herself and just keeps silent.
I really want another egg.
That being said, Saphira, if you're planning on going with Fida to the woods, I can keep an eye on Kilvethia.
If you feel comfortable with it.
I'll be fine. No issue.
All right. Well, if you do run into trouble, I'm sure you're well aware how far it travels. Have the two of them call me.
No issue. Saphira and Night Stalker just kind of like just wagging their tails and just panting.
Well,
If she's sending a detachment to the woods, to a location she wasn't told, I don't know if it's wise for just the two of you to go.
you're all welcome to join us.
It might be best if we all go. Or if more of us, at least.
I'm not sure how this works. What kind of position is she in over the people that defend this place? Does she command them?
Well, she was part of the discussion with relieving Miss Ravenwood of her position, so
If my
clearly in some manner.
understanding is correct, the Lawmaster is simply the highest ranked of the guarding body of the city, or of the town.
So she's in charge of all the people who defend the place.
Correct.
All the warriors.
To my understanding, at least.
One of the guards at the feast there, like at the gathering, said that she was not supposed to be there, that the royal military were supposed to be guarding the outside wall.
Mm-hmm.
What wall? What? Let me rephrase that. Trail, is there a wall around the town?
Yeah? I've said that back in session 1.
Okay. Just making sure because I couldn't remember. Never mind, she wouldn't have asked that.
Just like,
Rewind.
Rewind.
One of the guards, I noticed that they had said that she was not supposed to even be there.
This whole situation is just very fishy.
Derek, you remember our conversation? Who is really trustworthy?
yes.
Keep your eyes open. Kilbeth definitely is not.
Her
That's
eyes are
what
not
I've
open.
been trying to say.
Hence the reason
And
why
it-
I'll be keeping an eye on her this evening.
If she's not trustworthy, it's possible not all the warriors in this place are.
Fairly plausible.
What about Rhea then, if Kilveth is going to station guards? Or if Mudrik is going to station guards to protect her?
I personally doubt that Modric is got any ill intent. I mean, after all, he wouldn't. A man of intent is not going to invite Tanathel and everyone that he's a part of to his place.
But if Kilveth is in charge of them, and he
If
orders
Kilveth is
them,
in charge, then yes, it's a possibility.
is she safe?
If we're worried about Kilbeth,
I'm more concerned about Rhea right now.
yes.
She's
If
gone
we're-
through enough.
If we're worried about Kilbeth making a move on Rhea, something tells me now that we are proving to be better investigators than she thought, she might take a little bit more caution in going directly after Rhea. It points too many fingers based on the conversation that we just had in there.
But
Rhea
how hard
lives
is it to
here.
hire someone?
Assuming she's smart enough to think about that.
Rhea does
But-
live here. I'm sure she has companions
Mhm.
other than the recently deceased.
And also
Me-
wondering one question, by the way, if you don't mind me asking. You just said that she's sending a detachment to the woods. Y'all didn't mention woods. I didn't mention
No.
woods.
No,
We
you said woods.
We didn't
thought
say
we-
where in the woods
I
at all.
thought we mentioned the woods, but didn't tell them where in the woods.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We just mentioned the ritual site was in the woods.
That alone is suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do we agree that we trust Advisor Mudrick?
He seems like a natural leader.
He seems more genuine so far.
He
But
made
I don't
us.
trust anyone.
He
not
gave us
until
our
I have
spot
reason.
for this investigation. It seems odd for him to hire people to investigate himself.
Why not then go to those chambers and tell them this directly? That we have strong suspicion that possibly Kilveth may have been in on it. Yeah, granted, to be fair, he's on his.
That's just what it is currently, is suspicion.
Given his position, it may be very difficult for him to have that knowledge unless we have very solid evidence against Kilveth.
A leader should know, though.
Might.
We need
Perhaps-
something more concrete, or at least more tangible, before
What-
we go to the head of the town for this.
What about if we go to the head of the town and express concern over them disturbing the site in the woods? If there are guards there and they trample everything, it interrupts the investigation. If we can get him to stop a detachment from going there,
Words that were hushed that we're not supposed to know about.
Seems logical for us to simply investigate the group heading out to the woods and see what they're actually doing there.
perhaps the rest of you should go there sooner. And as Emerald and I have a conversation to have, we can meet you there after.
We shouldn't be too long.
If we can get there and investigate beforehand, before they go there.
Well,
What time is it
investigating
now?
what the guards are doing, not the site. We've already seen the site.
There are animals there to speak to. It might be questionable if we're there after the guards are there. Why are we back there? I don't want to have any problems with the guards. There's already enough problems. And if she's sending them, that's a problem.
Stalker, when did they say the guards were going to be deployed?
Emerald heard it.
We heard a time, did we, Emerald?
This
Sure.
evening.
Yes, sorry.
This evening?
Just this
Tonight.
evening. So,
Hmm.
there's a little bit of time. The two of you could speak with Ms. Ravenwood, and then we could all go together so that we aren't splitting up into potentially very dangerous areas.
That is fair.
I'll keep an eye on Kilveth.
Yes,
Hey,
if
just-
she's heading out immediately, we can change plans, so you'll have that information.
Is it
Like, you
possible
just
to keep
see,
an eye on the guards that were in the room with that too?
we missed that, Vita.
Is it possible to keep an eye on you and your two companions here? Is it possible to keep an eye on the guard that she clearly spoke to?
I can keep an eye on both, but if they go past a certain point of distance from one another, I can't telepathically talk to.
I didn't
Night
see
Stalker.
who she was talking to for the ladder guard. I only heard it as I closed the door.
Hmm.
So how about this? I'll keep an eye on Kilveth. Fida, you and Emerald want to go talk to Rhea. Cricket, Tanathil, and Saphira go to the woods later this evening. Sounds like a plan.
Maybe we should do
Alright.
it now. Tanathil, did you need me for something urgent?
Oh no, we can simply talk on the way.
Okay.
I'd say give us an hour and we can all go. Conversation should not take horribly long.
Should we just all go and meet her?
Let's not overwhelm her, but we can
Yeah.
stay
We
nearby
can
so that we don't
all
separate
go
much.
there.
We can stay outside. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yes. I think we have a plan.
With that, Garrick's gonna hop on Night Stalker and ride him off, kind of just a little bit away from the area. Keep an eye on Kilveth as she comes out of the jail. I take it you guys make y'all's way to Rhea's place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you guys kind of like head in that direction, I wouldn't say it takes y'all more than 20 minutes to get there. Y'all actually beat the guards that Mudrik actually sends, and Mudrik actually sends Citadel guards, not just regular towns guard, to actually kind of watch over Rhea as they kind of like, as you guys like kind of like walk up, I would say, to this small house, no more than probably, I would say, 30 feet in width and about 30 feet in length. Single story, thatched roof. As you guys kind of like walk up to this wooden door that's loose, but still on its hinges, as y'all kind of like knock. Rhea kind of like comes in, or comes to the door and kind of opens it. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't expect anyone this evening. Come in. And she just kind of motions towards you there, Emerald and Fida, because if I'm not mistaken, those y'all are the two that are up there.
I'll go in by myself and call Fida in a minute.
Okay. As you kind of come in, she closes the door behind you. The two guards that are there to watch just kind of post up outside. They begin kind of like talking actually to Fida, just wondering like why you guys are there so quick.
You said the door is kind of rocking on its hinges. Is it because it's like the
It's old.
mounting is a little weird?
Yeah, the mounting's a little weird.
I'm gonna start by walking up to the door and rocking it a bit, and casting mending on the hinges so they further solidify on the wall. The rock kind of.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, I'd give you that. It just kind of automatically just straightens up and like actually hardens into a proper place. As you do that, Rhea just goes, "I'm sorry, I didn't expect company today. Would you like anything to drink?" As she kind of like, the inside of the house is kind of a greeting area, no more than probably 10 feet in width and about 15 feet in length. There's a door on the far end that she just kind of like walks by and takes a right, which would lead to her kitchen, that she is currently grabbing a cup of ale for you that you had whenever you drank with her just the night before. To your right of this greeting room area is another door. And then to the left is another. And she comes walking around back with a couple of mugs. Inside this greeting room, there's a couple of tables, or a table with a couple of chairs that you guys can sit in. She actually grabs one to sit.
I didn't
She's
think
like,
we would be back here as quickly as we were, but I come bearing good news and some harder news.
Considering my time the last 24 hours, I'll prefer to take the hard news first so I can end on a better note.
Part of the hard news is going to not come from me. I will bring in Fida to talk with you in a minute. Before that, the hard news from me. I'm worried for your safety in the town currently. What can you tell me of your relations with Kilbeth?
It was a rivalry to a certain extent. She's been lawmaster for almost 20 years. Well, I say 20 years. The town's really not been around too terribly long, but she was one of the first ones here that kind of provided security for everyone in Kratom. In the last couple of years, I've risen through the ranks, and I've noticed that she doesn't quite like me. I'm young, new blood, I guess. And she's talked about that in these times that are currently perilous when it comes to certain things going on outside the town, that someone with a cold heart but yet a steel mind is the best for security purposes.
If you have friends in the guard that are loyal to you, draw them close. It may be an interesting few days. And two, they know of Isa. Really know of Isa. And you.
Then our conversation was not as private as I was hoping. If that is the case, because no one should be able to know about Isa and myself.
No word has come from me on it. That conversation stayed between us.
That doesn't
Even
make
my
sense.
companions only know that you have been stationed here together for a while, and I left the rest out. When we entered the Lawmaster's office earlier, apparently Kilbeth has some damning evidence linking you two together. It seems that one has a bit of a hard-on for you, if you will.
I don't know how she knows. Our relationship's private. We didn't even write notes to each other. At least none that we would keep. We'd burn them in the end. We knew this relationship was against etiquette of the town's guard. There's no way that she should know.
It seemed weird to me, too. But when we entered the office, she was discussing this with Jervath, was it?
That's the tavern keep in the grotto.
Mudrik.
Mudrik.
She was discussing this with Mudrik. So,
I respect Mudrik, in all honesty. If he ever comes to any sort of decision on certain things, I respect his decision. He's good.
Kilbeth is heavily pushing for you to lose your rank.
Not surprised.
From the short time I've been here, neither am I. But like I said.
So are you thinking that Kilveth killed Isa?
I'm thinking it was personal.
That makes
We
sense.
have no proof one way or the other yet. But I figured this information should come to you from a friend, rather than Kilveth getting the joy of shoving it in your face.
Oh. I planned on leaving Creighton anyway, so
I'm glad to hear it. Travel will do you some good.
just a bit. I plan on leaving actually in a couple of days after the funeral. I don't care to stay.
Until you do, keep your friends, those you trust, close.
I've got quite a few of those. They shouldn't be too hard.
Good. And for my last bit of bad news, I'll be right back. And I'm going to go to the door and open it and usher Fida in. Rhea, this is Fida. And she has a story for you.
She just looks at Fida with a confusion.
Going to walk over to her, and I'm going to kneel in front of her and bow to her. Like on the ground, like on knees, and just bow. Ria, I know you do not know me, and I am so sorry for what has happened here. It has taken a day of investigating here to understand where that thing came from and what has happened. I'm not sure how to tell you this. I'm not sure how to explain at all. So I will just be direct. It's all I can do. That creature was summoned by a ritual that is conducted in 2 parts. I have the misfortune of having to tell you that without realizing it, I conducted the first part of it. I did not know what I was being forced to make, but that does not absolve me of my involvement in what has happened here.
You see Emerald.
I'm still face
eyes.
down on the ground here talking.
I
I
know.
see nothing.
Emerald,
Emerald
you
is just by the door, watching the conversation.
You just see her eyes just kind of a fire in them just kind of like ignites. Her fists are clenched and getting tighter. You can actually see blood coming from her fingernails, actually like digging into her skin, just kind of like starting to like sink out or just kind of starting to drip as she's just staring down at Iona or Fida.
Fida,
Yes, Emerald.
would you mind divulging with her why, so it might make some more sense?
Yes. I am an archaeologist from a family of archaeologists in the Ajdajar dynasty. On our last site that we were sent to, my family, we are indebted to a tiefling. His name is Umaros. My father was unwittingly tricked into indebtedness many years ago, and my family has been indebted to him. He hires us to, or he sends us to different temples to go and recover artifacts under the guise of repaying the debt and eventually attaining our freedom. This last dig was to be enough that we would be free. It was to be enough that we would more than pay the debt that my father has incurred. The temple we were sent to was the temple of Shiva the Destroyer. When we went there, it was fairly perilous, and my family, it was my two brothers, my father, and I, we were nearly killed. We made it into the inner sanctum of the temple itself, and we found it was a large, shining black and white rock. When we got into that room, we were accosted by 3 other tieflings who very quickly came to overpower us. They would not talk, they would not discuss anything, they just attacked. And at the time, the rock ended up speaking to me and saying that if I picked it up, it would give me the strength to protect my family. At first, I did not listen, and the fight got worse. My father was almost killed, and at that, I did pick up the rock. When I did, that voice took up residence in my head, and it took my family away from me. I don't know where they are, but they've been used as leverage to have me draw the circle that I drew on the ground.
As you're talking, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. She's kind of like taking a deep breath in, and you see her emerald just kind of turn around from Fida. You just see her kind of go off to one of the corners of the room, not too far away, probably 10 feet at most. And you just see her kind of just moving something. Keep going, feet.
What I did, was unacceptable. I did not know at the time what it is I was drawing. I had drawn a circle and a symbol in the dirt. My reasoning was to try and get information for where my family is. I did not know that this was going to happen.
As you say that, you, Emerald, see her just grab something by a handle and quickly just like turn and lunge with a sword and just like cut down right next to Fida's face. Just right next. You can actually see the blade of the sword in your peripheral there, Fida. You see in Ria's face there, emerald tears. As she goes, I don't give a damn. I don't.
Regardless,
But
you
shut
should
up.
know.
Shut up at this point. At this point, I don't care anymore. You may leave knowing that I gave you something you could have given another. And she just kind of drops her sword at this point. She looks at you there, Emerald, and just goes, I'll be fine. Leave.
we will return when we can point you in the direction of the one who actually targeted Isa. I'll have you know, we did kill the creature that came after her. We did. Fida did. Tore apart the circle it came from.
That doesn't change a whole lot, though, does it?
No, it does not.
No, it doesn't. Y'all may leave.
I will wait for Fida to walk out first.
Put up and I will walk out.
As you go to leave there, Fida, Bria calls out to you and just goes, Fida? I'll say this now, because I'm not going to want to say it later. I do hope you find your family. And I hope they're a constant reminder for something I'll never get to have again. And as she says that, she walks away. She just walks away.
What I have done, they may as well be dead too. And I will walk out with that.
And if I'm left in the room, I'm going to walk up, finish my ale, and
Drop stiff drink now.
Drop something in the cup and leave. I will message you what that is.
Please do. Sorry about that. I'm just sitting there picturing, it's like, I need a stiff drink.
You're not wrong.
Bad timing. I apologize. Y'all see Fida and Emerald, by the way, leave Ria's house. There's Saphira, Chatterthel, and Cricket.
Looks like it didn't go as best as it could, but not as worst.
There is no good way to have that conversation, Stockholm. And there is no good that can come from something like this. Let us go and find what we can here.
Let's get to that circle before they do.
As y'all leave the town and head towards the woods, it's getting late by this point. I would say at this point it's actually night. It's around 8 in the evening when y'all make it to the area where the ritual was at. As y'all are walking through the decayed woods, it's quiet. Not a sound. Not a cricket chirping in the evening. Not an owl. The trees hooting. There's nothing. Just silence. As y'all make y'all's way to the ritual location, y'all see an individual sitting in the center. Short. Not very tall of an individual. Next to it is a white rug eerily similar to that of a wolf, but it's just a rug.
Is the individual moving?
No, just sitting there. Just hunched
Sitting
over,
up,
it seems. No, just hunched over. Y'all are about 60 feet away from this point. It's just more of an outline. You're able to just barely see that rug. I take it y'all approach cautiously?
Yes, Saphira is.
As y'all approach cautiously, Sphere, you quickly notice after a minute, it's Garrick.
She assumes so. She's paying more attention to the surroundings than to him.
He looks like he's been through hell. There's stab wounds in his shoulders and his arms. And as you kind of walk, he just is barely holding himself up. As he kind of like, you walk up next to him, he notices and just kind of looks up at you and he's like, I apologize, as he falls forward. He's still breathing.
Injured?
Stab wounds. I thought you heard that.
Sorry. I missed some of what you were saying because Gibbon's
Sorry.
messaging us.
That's nice. Stab wounds all over. There's blood just smeared all over his clothes from what appears to be a battle. His bow that he had on his back as he's holding looks
Did you
worn.
say if Night Stalker is around at all?
Night Stalker's not around. And he just falls forward.
She's immediately calling to Emerald. It's Garrick. He's hurt. And
We're ending there.
scanning.
We're ending there for the night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, we appreciate y'all tuning in to this evening of Varinheim. Just a reminder before we go that Monday nights we have the Troubleshooters ran by Cap. Actually,
we're on break right now.
y'all are on break actually from Monday. Monday, my bad. I apologize.
We
Monday,
do have a game 2 Mondays from now. We're running a one-shot. More information will come when we get a little closer.
That is true. Tuesday is World of War, ran by Jason. Wednesday, we will have actually, the new month is this month. So has that new campaign started?
I sent that information to you. It's in our messages.
Wednesday, we have the first episode of Falscalon Knights, ran by our very own JT. We're also going to be seeing some new familiar faces during that one as well. Thursday night is A Knight's Ransom by Maddie, and Saturday is Stolen Cities, ran by Alex. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Tuesday, I just want to clarify this, Tuesday, World of War, ran by Jason. That's the 2nd edition Scion campaign, correct there, Otter?
Yes, it is.
All right, I just wanted to say that. But we hope to see y'all again.
It's an interesting time if you check that one out, too.
Yes, I recommend it. That being said, we look forward to y'all next week. Have a good evening. We'll see y'all then.